Henry Fuhrer told police he was outside a Bay Village home early July 4th, 1954, while another man robbed the house. At the Justice Center, Greg Saber, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
A Cleveland man is accused of stealing a brooch off the dress of a dead woman as mourners looked on. Witnesses say the man entered the church telling people he wanted to salute the body of Emma Bailey. They say he leaned into the casket, picked up the piece of jewelry, and left. The family and minister chased that man down the street and caught him, then cops hauled him away. An Avon Lake doctor already accused of raping a nearly comatose patient with multiple sclerosis has now been charged with a second count of rape. 41-year-old Ashok Ramadagu is accused of sexually assaulting a hospitalized patient who could not move. If you have partying in your plans for this weekend, a local group would like you to reconsider. James Joyce from the Cuyahoga County Alcohol and Drug Addiction Board says booze is big trouble.
There is more homicide and violence on a everyday basis associated with alcohol use than with all the illicit drugs and drug trafficking combined.
The board is asking everybody to give up drinking for the weekend as smokers are asked to kick their butts for the Great American Smokeout each year. Joyner says 100,000 people die alcohol-related deaths each year. 17,000 are killed by drunk drivers, and he says 2 million people are in prison because of addictions to alcohol. The Dow and the NASDAQ both up. The Dow up right now 18 points at 11,132, and the NASDAQ a big gain so far today, up to 115 points. Channel 3 weather is next. It's 12:04 at News Radio WTAM 1100.
2020 sports. Charles Johnson did it again. 3-run homer. The difference in the ball game as the O's took 2 out of 3 from the good guys. 6-2 last night's final as the Tri moves on to Tampa Bay for their home opener tonight. It'll be Jared Wright against Juan Guzman, 7:15 first pitch on the big one. Well, the Cavs will be on sister station 100.7 WMMS. They're in Indiana in an 8 o'clock tip to take on the Pacers and Larry Bird. Casey Coleman, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Pella! Why are these people screaming Pella?
Pella!
Maybe they know something you don't.
Pella, Pella, Pella!
Maybe they found out that more people who own Pella windows view them to be the best.
Pella!
Or they found out Pella is the only major manufacturer to offer features like shades and blinds tucked between panes of glass and the roll screen, retractable insect screen.
Pella!
Maybe they got stuck with a bad window when they should have bought
Pella!
Or maybe their contractors just didn't hear them.
Visit one of the 6 area Pella windowscaping centers and take advantage of the spring specials. 20% off all Pella replacement windows, exclusive between the glass features and roll screens. Take $250 off all designer series patio doors. Have your replacement windows and doors installed in your home by Pella's expert installation team. And soon you'll be screaming Pella! See your local yellow pages for the stores nearest you, or visit the website at www.guntonpella.com. See store for details.
Pella!
Viewed to be the best.
Live Doppler radar. Storm tracking that's 6 minutes faster. Cleveland's official weather station. News Radio. WTAM 1100.
Channel 3 weather. Here's Mark Nolan.
System working its way through today. It looks like it's bringing rain, and along with that, thunderstorm potential is going to be there. Just about 59 degrees for a high today. Tonight, showers, possible thunderstorms again down to 41. And then for tomorrow, a rain to snow changeover. An early high of 48.
Right now we have 48 degrees at your official weather station. I'm Karen Kassler on Youngstown's only, on Cleveland's only News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Continuing coverage coming up at the bottom of the hour. Bulletins at 1. News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Ooh, boy, that chest is really burning. I had spaghetti for lunch. Maybe I ate too fast. I don't know. It's never been this bad. Why, the antacid sure isn't working. Feels kind of tight. Boy, is this what a heart attack feels like? No. It's nothing. I'm overreacting. It'll go away. I'll just give it a little more time.
If you are having a heart attack, time is what you don't have. That's why the EMH Regional Medical Center is your best choice. We're rated one of the nation's top 100 hospitals in cardiac care. Every year, over 7,000 cardiac procedures are performed at the EMH Heart Center. That ranks us among the most elite hospitals in Northern Ohio, so you can relax knowing your heart is in the right place. To find out more, call 1-888-GET-EXAM or visit our website at www.emh-healthcare.org. The EMH Regional Medical Center in Elyria and Amherst Hospital in Amherst. First-class care, close to home.
Rush Limbaugh on WTAM 1100.
folks, to the end of the week. And a rapid week it's been, has it not? Great to have you with us. Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, the most listened to, the most eagerly anticipated radio program in America today. A program which continually meets and surpasses all audience expectations every day.
Live from New York, it's Open Line Friday 2000!
All right, folks, it's a golden opportunity for you. You're sick and tired of hearing about Elian and Juan Miguel Gonzalez? Good day to say so. You want to talk about me rescuing Monday Night Football? This is the day to do it. Some issue that you think has been ignored this week because of the dominance of the news of Elian Gonzalez? This is the day. Because you see, on Friday we turn over the all-important role of topic selection to rank amateurs in terms of broadcast skills. That would be the callers. We do it with love, though. We do it with eagerness. I mean, don't be offended that I call you rank amateurs. Just the truth. I am the highly trained broadcast specialist here. I'm the host, you're the listener, but I wouldn't be here without you. Don't ever think I don't know that. Name is Rush Limbaugh. It's the EIB Network. It's the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. And the phone number is 800-282-2882. The email address, rush@eibnet.com. First, got to clear something up. The United Methodist Church yesterday received a slew of phone calls after it was announced on this program that a branch of the United Methodist Church was paying for Glenn Craig, the sheriff in Sacramento, for crying out loud. Greg Craig, the Clinton impeachment lawyer and attorney for Juan Miguel Gonzalez, and paid for the airplane or whatever. Anyway, we got a clarification from them because a bunch of people called them up and were highly critical. Eric Olsgaard of United Methodist General Board of Church and Society called the office, said they got calls from people wondering about the funding link between the United Methodist organization and Greg Craig, Elian Gonzalez situation. And he said some of the calls are pretty angry, which understandable. They asked if a clarification could be made to dispel doubts. We're always eager to clarify things. I mean, that's what this program does, is clarify. We cut away all the BS and the noise. I mean, what we do here, ladies and gentlemen, is take the complex and make it understandable. We dig deep. Wherever the truth is, we go and get it. We're only interested in the truth. So here's what they say. From the United Methodist General Board of Church and Society. The arm that is behind Greg Craig is the Humanitarian Advocacy Fund. The monies from the Humanitarian Advocacy Fund are strictly from donations. I assume that would be from parishioners. They are not part of general revenues. Oh, wait a minute. I'm wrong here. When they say the Humanitarian Advocacy Fund is monies strictly from donations. They are not part of general revenues or church offerings and pledges. So, the money to pay Greg Craig is not coming from the sanctuary, not coming from the plate passed through the pew. Instead, these monies are raised above and outside of regular United Methodist operations. Again, that's from Eric Olsgaard of United Methodist General Board of Church and Society. And as I say, we never, ever want to be wrong here. So we're happy to correct this from the perspective of the United Methodist Church. Is that right? Just wants to get the whole thing out there? It would have happened anyway, because I've got it. In fact, you know, it's the top thing in the stack of stuff. Right there. Right here. Top, right at the top of the stack of stuff. But leave the guy there. Because it actually isn't at the top of the stack of stuff. We do have, as you can imagine, lots of Elian Gonzalez news because there are new developments. Basically, let me review for you if you're a little bit confused. Here's how government officials foresee the next steps in the Elian Gonzalez case, barring any agreement with his Miami relatives. First, the Immigration and Naturalization Service will send the great uncle in Miami, Lázaro Gonzalez, a letter saying that custody of Elian has been officially transferred to his Cuban father, Juan Miguel Gonzalez. Attorney General Janet El Reno and other federal officials will meet with the dad today. In fact, that took place this morning. I happened to see Juan Miguel Gonzalez. And do you know he was carrying his infant kid again today, folks? Am I on to something or what? He was carrying the kid again. And this time, he was mixed and matched for television. Had on a blue suit and a white shirt. And his wife was walking behind him empty-handed. They had a meeting with Attorney General Janet El Reno and Eric Holder and other officials there. Now, 2 or 3 days from now, the INS supposedly will fax a new letter setting a time and place for the Miami relatives to relinquish Elian, which will likely be 2 to 5 days later. This all takes us to next Wednesday, it looks like, where this is all supposed to happen. Now, if the family does not give up the child, and I have raised this possibility on this very program behind this very golden microphone, if the family down there does not willingly give up the child, the feds can then go to court and ask a judge to compel the family via court order to hand over the 6-year-old boy. Should they refuse again, the Miami relatives, should they refuse again to comply, they would be found in contempt, and just like the president was, and the stage could then be set for U.S. Marshals to walk in and seize the child. I told you this wasn't going to have a pleasant ending. It is unclear what would happen once the child is reunited with his father. Well, one thing's real clear. Juan Miguel Gonzalez is not going to Miami, it doesn't seem like. Doesn't that seem to be what the normal thing would be? The family down there said, we welcome Juan Miguel. We have no problem with Juan Miguel. We've not said one bad thing. And they haven't. They haven't said one bad thing about Juan Miguel Gonzalez. And if you were the dad, wouldn't you head to where the kid is, pick the kid up, walk in, open arms, hi, son, great to see you. Oh, Dad, no, son, it's been so long, 3 years and 4 months now. But no, Juan Gonzalez remains under house arrest in Bethesda, Maryland, at the home of a Cuban diplomat. There are some people speculating, and I must again remind you, this is speculation, that some people are saying that this kid isn't even going to be reunited with his dad. Wait till you hear this. I wish I could remember. I've read so much today, as I always do. I'll find it in a stack of stuff. Somebody is theorizing that what could happen is, if the child is turned over, or if the marshals go into the family home in Miami and get the kid, whatever, that the kid would then be put on a transport, airplane, aircraft, or some kind of helicopter, and flown to the Cuban embassy in Canada, not stopping in Bethesda, not even reuniting the son with the father. And then they both return to Cuba on separate aircraft. That's just one of the things that's been... But that sounds doubtful. I see a big photo op, father and son reunion. Of course, how do you rehearse a 6-year-old for that? It's unclear. Now, this is the official, how the drama will unfold. It's unclear what would happen once Elian is reunited with his father. Father indicated he's willing to stay in America with Elian until a federal appeals court reviews a lower court judge's ruling in his favor. Government officials can't stop the father from leaving, but they could issue a rare departure control order preventing Elian Gonzalez from leaving. Well, let me tell you something. If it comes down to which of these two is getting out of the country first, you know it's going to be Elian Gonzalez. He's going to leave first. If they go separately, that kid is the key to this whole thing. Kid is going to Cuba. Quick break. We'll come back. I want to read to you something Kate O'Byrne wrote on the National Review website. It's really crucial to put all this in perspective because it retraces the timeline. We'll get to it right after this break.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Rush Limbaugh, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
The price of gasoline is unreal and infuriating. Overseas, they decide America should pay more for gas, and voila, we're on our way to $2 a gallon. And no one's done much about it until now. Because now Priceline, that's right, Priceline, is about to let you name your own price for gasoline. Starting soon, you'll be able to log on to Priceline.com, name your own price for gas, and save up to 10 or 20 cents off every single gallon you buy, maybe even more. Now, how it works couldn't be easier. You log on to Priceline.com and name your own price for as many fill-ups as you want. Then, every time you pull into the gas station, you just ignore the price at the pump. You'll need a Priceline gas card to take advantage of this great opportunity. Your Priceline gas card is free and can be used at gas stations just about everywhere. Just log on to Priceline.com and ask for your Priceline gas card. They'll send it to you absolutely free. Log on to Priceline.com. Start naming your own price for gasoline soon.
Just trying to stay ahead of the curve. Just me, some Thai food, and the cleaning guys. You know what, though? I'm getting real-time information from the Zoomerang survey. I just created it, about 10 minutes. I ask anyone about anything, and then I instantly have feedback I can use. So we can make decisions that could really help little guys like us clean up. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Go to Zoomerang.com. Easiest way to ask, fastest way to know.
You're a U.S. Marshal driving with a convicted hitman. In return for information, the DA gave him immunity, a new identity, and a new home. You're helping him move in. As you pull into the driveway, you think, what if this was your neighborhood? So, do you hide a killer in the suburbs, or let the neighbors know?
The History Channel lets you live the lives of U.S. Marshals from the Old West to witness protection this Monday through Thursday, 9, 8 Central, only on the History Channel.
Microsoft broke the law when news happens. Violated federal antitrust laws by building a monopoly and trying to take over the web browser market.
Here at first. This could open them up for many private lawsuits, antitrust lawsuits from individual companies.
In-depth team coverage.
Microsoft said it will never break up the company.
News that's first, fast, and factual.
Bill Gates is $12 billion poorer on paper now.
They'll wage a vicious appeal.
Well, we did everything we could to settle this case.
You can depend on News Radio, WTAM 1100.
MoneyDownTheDrain.com.
I need to return a toy?
No problem. Just send it back and write the word return.
Great.
Everything must be written with a calligraphy marker and sealed with duct tape.
Uh-huh.
Then stand in line for 2 hours at the post office and have the clerk sign an affidavit saying they are of sound mind.
Okay.
Nothing like this will ever happen to you at ToysRUs.com. Just return or exchange your purchase at any Toys R Us store. For the toys your kids really want, go online to ToysRUs.com and point, click, play.
Well, we're here with a radiation expert to demonstrate NorthernLight.com, the world's most comprehensive search engine. What are you searching for, Doctor?
Radioactive elements.
All right, let's try Northern Light. Radioactive elements, search. Ah, nice. All these results organized into neat little folders. Now, here's one on radioactivity, uranium, even radiological protection. Now, let me... Whoa, what's that?
Run, just run.
Going. NorthernLight.com. Just what you've been searching for.
30 million people already know. E-file's the way to go. There's cyber working, cyber playing, cyber tax paying, even cyber IRS to save a little cyber stress.
Join the 30 million who use IRS e-file. Ask your tax preparer to e-file or use your own computer. E-file is accurate, secure, and you'll get your refund in half the usual time. Check out our website, www.irs.gov.
30 million people already know. E-file's the way to go.
The Tribe travels to St. Pete to battle the Devil Rays tonight. Tribe Insider with Casey Coleman at 6, followed by Indians warm-up. The first pitch at 7:15 on your home for Indians baseball. News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Oh, looky here. What do we have here? Why, it's the Monday Night Football song. Our first official bump in the rotation today just happened to come up. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of email today. Actually, Rush, are you serious about this Monday Night Football? I'm surprised. A number of you people expressing many, many concerns about this. You know what the largest concern is? What do you think the largest concern people have is? HR, take a stab in. I'll tell you what the largest concern is. The largest concern people have is that you can't serve two masters. My independence would vanish once I joined the ABC Monday Night booth. Now, friends, now you know me. Look, I'm not going to sit here and just joke about this for the sake of it. I am serious about it. It could be done. It could be done easily. And I am the guy because I love football in the way the average fan loves football. The things I want to know, the things I'll find out are the things that people in the game for 30 years take for granted and don't think are interesting anymore. The things the average guy never gets to know. I can get the trust of the players. I think they're gods. My job's to make them look good. I have profound respect for what those people do. I don't think most Americans have the slightest idea how tough those guys are. I don't think the average American has the slightest idea how difficult professional football is, the preparation it takes, the intelligence it takes. I have deep admiration for those involved in the game. What does that equal, ladies and gentlemen? Respect. No, I'm not worried about the crime beat. I leave that to others. I just got word, the top of the hour, on the Fox News channel, this story doesn't seem to be dead. There's a news anchor named Todd Connor, and he just reported this at 12 noon on the Fox News channel.
Rush Limbaugh is ready for some football. The radio talk show host says he wants to fill the open announcer spot on Monday Night Football. Limbaugh says he could do his radio show from whatever city the football game is in that week. A spokesman for ABC Sports says the job is wide open.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? The job is wide open. Well, if the job is wide open, who better than I to fill the job? Just how, Rush, would you manage the balancing of your radio and TV? Folks, not a problem. It really isn't easy, and I've got ideas. And I'm not going to sit here, give away my ideas on the radio here to any other potential candidates. I mean, things to do, to prepare and all that. I mean, that's me. That's my stuff. I'm not going to give. That's intellectual property. I'm not going to give it away. If the time comes and the opportunity presents itself, I'll present it to the proper people. But just be patient. Just be cool. And whatever, don't worry. Some of you are also saying, but Rush, you know what'll happen? You'll love TV so much that you'll forget radio. You'll forget America, politics, and we'll lose you. My friends, I'm not doing this for television. If I love TV, I could have been doing TV every day of the year for the last 7 years. It's not television. It's football. ABC's Monday Night Football. It has nothing to do with television, for crying out loud. Look, have I not demonstrated over the course of 12 years that I know what is my foundation? Have I not? My friends, you have nothing to fear. If I have not demonstrated to you my multifaceted talents over the years, then nothing I can do from now on will. You're just going to have to be confident. I would never, ever take a career step that would foul up the very foundation on which my life has been built. Nor would I allow someone else to screw it up. Now, as promised, Cato Byrne, National Review. Now, see how we do this? This is another reason. Here's another reason. Let me tell you, how many other people could go from 3 minutes of Monday Night Football to the serious issues that we discuss throughout the day in America? Not many, with credibility. Not many, ladies and gentlemen, not many at all. In fact, one of the things that has made this program what it is, that is combines elements not seen anywhere else in the media. Irreverent sense of humor, serious discussion of issues, both with credibility. As I've said, if Ted Koppel opened Nightline with a joke monologue, you'd watch that and say, well, what's that? That's not why I'm watching this. If David Letterman decided to open his show with a serious discussion of the issues at night, you say, what is this? It's not why I'm watching this. I want to watch some stupidity. I don't care what this guy thinks. What does he know? But I, El Rushbo, do both. And segue between the two as smoothly as silk. Sometimes people aren't even aware that it's happened. At any rate, back to Cato Byrne, who is National Review's Washington editor. Who really flip-flopped on Elian Gonzalez in adopting the position that a Florida family court must be permitted to determine the fate of Elian Gonzalez? Al Gore. He demanded that. Al Gore is out of step with the pro-Castro caucus of his party, but in agreement with the Clinton administration's original position on the controversy. Now, this is key. Let me go through this again. It has a little more to it than that, but I want to go through it because remember now, the key to all this, key to every aspect and every instance of this program is your comprehension and understanding. The headline of the story is, a scandalous flip-flop, Al Gore is out of step with the pro-Castro caucus of his party. Cato Byrne. Who really flip-flopped on Elian? in adopting the position that a Florida family court must be permitted to determine the fate of Elian Gonzalez. Al Gore is out of step with the pro-Castro caucus of his party, but he is in agreement with the Clinton administration's original position on the controversy. What really happened in Elian's first weeks in America has been obscured by a fog of propaganda, so let's remember some history. On December 1st, 1999, following Elian's Thanksgiving Day rescue, the INS declared that the issue of custody must be decided by the state courts. May I read that to you again? On December 1st, 1999, the same INS who now wants to march down to that little house in Little Havana and pick up the kid. December 1st, 1999, the INS declared that the issue of custody must be decided by the state courts, not them. The INS recognized that Elian Gonzalez would remain in the U.S. until the custody issues were resolved, and that his Miami-based family had the right to initiate proceedings in state court. The statement reflects the INS's standard procedure in the case of unaccompanied minors. Then, on December 5th, Fidel Castro loudly protested this INS decision to grant jurisdiction to corrupt judges and stationed several dozen soldiers outside the U.S. interest section in Cuba. Now, we'll leave it hanging right there only because of the constraints of time. An EIB Profit Center timeout is mandatory. We'll take it now and resume promptly when we get back.
WTAM 1100.
When someone makes you an offer, either you want it and take it, or don't want it and don't take it. Of course, there are those you want and don't take, and those you don't want but take anyway. And who could forget the offers you never wanted, said no to 1,000,000 times, but they give it to you anyway. As for me, I stick to the ones I want and need. Like this one from Xerox.
Now get a Xerox Document Center 332 digital copier, including everything. Lease, service, supplies, and 10,000 copies for only $349 a month. Just call 1-800-ASK-XEROX.
Everything you need for one low price. That's my kind of offer.
The Document Center copies 32 pages per minute, is networkable, easily upgrades to print, scan, and fax, and comes with the Xerox Total Satisfaction Guarantee. Call 1-800-ASK-XEROX for the Document Center right for you.
With Xerox, you get everything. Also known as the I'll be kicking myself if I don't call offer.
Based on 60-month lease. See restrictions at Xerox.com/DOC.
Your home for Cleveland Indians baseball. This is the big one. Now, continuing coverage on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
It's 12:30. Good afternoon. I'm Tom Moore with a headline update. The father of Elian Gonzalez has told Attorney General Janet Reno about his wish to be reunited with his son. The sooner the better. The president of Antioch College in Southwest Ohio says they will now give opponents of a death row inmate a chance to express their concerns about students hearing a taped address by him. Abia Amu Jamal also making a taped message to be played on May 5th at Kent State. Nation's jobless rate held steady last month, 4.1%. The Dow Jones right now is up 47 points. The NASDAQ is up 138. Channel 3 weather, rain, thunderstorms expected, high today 59. Much cooler than that right now, cloudy and 48 at your official weather station. I'm Tom Moore. Next update at 1 on News Radio WTAM 1100.
You can see clearly now. Davis Eye Center.
If you're looking for a solid endorsement of LASIK laser vision correction, consider the source. In this case, the credentials don't come any higher. Dr. Charles Davis is one of Ohio's most experienced LASIK surgeons, and after doing more than 6,000 LASIK surgeries himself, Dr. Davis had LASIK performed on his own eyes.
The procedure itself takes about 12 minutes to do both eyes. Once the procedure's done, patients usually sit up, tell me what time it is on the clock. I would say that 98% of our patients drive themselves into our practice the day after surgery without glasses.
Here, Dr. Davis described LASIK and his own results at a free seminar on Tuesday, April 11th at 7 p.m. at the Davis Eye Center, 789 Graham Road in Cuyahoga Falls. To register, call 330-923-5676.
I'm Kim Mahalik for the good people at Omni Fitness.
Now, if you're thinking about getting in shape now that spring has sprung, then now is the time during Omni Fitness Equipment Specialist's Spring Training Event. From now until April 18th, the nation's leading retailer of Life Fitness home exercise equipment is offering a free $500 merchandise certificate with the purchase of any regularly priced Life Fitness treadmill, elliptical cross trainer, or recumbent life cycle. That's right, help yourself to $500 in free fitness equipment from Omni's wide selection of accessories and strength training equipment. Be sure to take advantage of 6-month no-interest, no-payment financing, as well as Omni's exclusive Motivator program. Omni's spring training event ends April 18th, so hurry in now. Omni Fitness has 3 Cleveland locations: in Oakwood Village at 25405 Broadway Avenue, in Westlake at 26143 Detroit Road, and in Pepper Pike at 30779 Pine Tree Road. Call 877-219-4058 or visit omnifitness.com for details.
WTAM 1100.
This is Ron Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory with a story that simply delighted Perry, one of my partners. A couple had just received their IRS refund check and were hoping they had enough money to buy a decent mattress. They had $638. Well, to their delight and amazement, they were not only able to buy a decent mattress, they bought a top-of-the-line, queen-size set, and they got $100 change. You see, our factory is right here at our store, eliminating the middleman, saving you hundreds of dollars over the comparable national brand. You can see and touch the fine quality materials that go into your mattress. Watch them made carefully, one at a time, by our fine craftsmen. Come and see us. We'll tell you everything you ever wanted to know about mattresses, and we'll save you hundreds of dollars. The Original Mattress Factory, 4930 State Road, right at the 480 ramp.
Rush Limbaugh on WTAM 1100.
You were in a Rush groove, baby. Yeah. Rush Limbaugh.
Tom Lehman has a 3-stroke lead at the Masters. He's on the 14th hole, and I'm not watching it on TV. For those of you on the left coast, I'm getting it off the Masters website, just as you can. It's not on TV until 4 o'clock Eastern this afternoon. What is this? Oh, yeah, I did the Rush to Excellence tours. Monday Night Football be a snap. Yeah, those Rush to Excellence tours, now, those were grueling things, too. I'd forgot about that. Okay. Now, I want to continue here with the Cato Byrne situation here, this piece of hers in National Review, because, you know, full disclosure, total comprehension and understanding on your parts what we're after here. Remember now, on December 1st, 1999, following the rescue of Elian Gonzalez on Thanksgiving, the INS, the same INS threatening to go take the kid out of the house now, declared that the issue of custody must be decided by the state courts. They recognized that Elian Gonzalez would remain in America until the custody issues were resolved, that his Miami-based family had the right to initiate proceedings in state court. The statement reflected the INS's standard procedure in the case of unaccompanied minors. Now, 4 days later, December 5th, Castro loudly protested this INS decision to grant jurisdiction to corrupt judges, the state courts, and stationed several dozen soldiers outside the U.S. interest section in Cuba. Talks on U.S.-Cuba migration policy were scheduled to take place in Havana in the next few days, it turns out. On December 7th, the State Department got into the act, issuing a statement that emphasized the rights of the father in Cuba, expressed concern for the safety of U.S. citizens in Cuba, and reiterated U.S. support for the migration accords with Cuba. Richard Nuccio, a former Clinton advisor on Cuba, explains that the State Department complained to the INS about jeopardizing negotiations with Cuba over migration issues and urged the immigration authorities to reconsider their position. Well, the State Department's pressure on the INS was clearly motivated by the administration's desire to appeal and appease Fidel Castro. Al Gore's Democratic critics, who have also adopted Castro's line on the paramount rights of Elian's father, are accusing him of shamelessly pandering to Florida voters. Well, at least he's not pandering to an odious despot like the rest of the Clinton administration. So the sum of this is that on December 1st, the INS said, yep, we're out of this. This is a state court issue. 4 days later, Castro starts screaming bloody murder about this. And 2 days later, the State Department says the INS is out of it, or the state courts are out of it, and we're going to assert our authority here, and we're going to get this kid back to Cuba, whatever, because we got to, well, they didn't say this, but look, it's like I ended the program with yesterday. It's real simple. The American government, think of Bill Clinton, and the Cuban government, think of Fidel Castro, have some kind of a deal on something at some point in the future. And this little kid washing up on the shores of South Florida has fouled it up. And the only thing that's going to get the deal, whatever it is, back on track, meaning whatever it is going to get Castro back in the fold, is going to require the return of Elian Gonzalez to Havana. Pure and simple, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we are. Now, you've heard about the Million Mom March this Mother's Day. Thousands of disapproving mothers are planning to scold the nation's political leaders this Mother's Day for failing to enact strict gun control measures. Organizers of the Million Mom March expect about 100,000 mothers to converge. Why don't you then call it the 100,000 Mom March? What is this Million Mom March? I mean, you only got 1/10. Can't even be accurate. Here you are upset about gun control laws and so forth. Can't even be accurate about how many people are going to show up. 100,000 mothers to converge on Washington. Hundreds of thousands more. Oh, I see. Hundreds of thousands more to take part in rallies in 20 cities in hopes of laying the biggest guilt trip over the country's lawmakers ever. Donna Dees Thomasis, a New Jersey mother who came up with the idea for the march, had a press conference yesterday at the National Mall, said in 6 weeks, we give birth to the Million Mom March, and like a pregnancy, we're getting bigger and bigger every day. You know, I have a simple question for all of you moms that are going to be participating in this. In fact, let me find something right quick here. I have, just stick with me. Stick with me. Hang in there with me, folks. I'll find it real fast. I think I'm going to find it real fast. I think, bottom of the stack. Got a note from a friend today. Rush, there's an article in the current issue of National Journal magazine on kids, parents, and guns, and one statistic caught my eye. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the number of children 5 years old and under who were accidentally killed by guns in 1997 was 20. The number of children 5 years old and under who were accidentally drowned in 5-gallon water buckets in 1997 was 38. Which, of course, means that for children 5 years old and under, 5-gallon water buckets are almost twice as deadly as guns. I wonder if the Million Mom March will begin a movement to ban all 5-gallon water buckets in America. And, you know, we can cite statistics like this all over the place. How many people die because of the vehicle, the wheel? How many people die in all sorts of accidents in far greater than airbags? The number of kids killed by airbags every year is greater than the number of kids killed by guns. But you can go even deeper than that. How about the number of kids using dope, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, LSD, smack, crank, crack, whatever it is? Why aren't these millions of moms or hundreds of thousands of moms protesting Congress to get that stopped? And why aren't these moms, and their fathers as well, doing something in their own homes about drug use, gun use? Why is it the responsibility of the gun manufacturers? Why is it the responsibility of Congress? We already have enough laws on the books. If you just enforce them, you wouldn't need any more. I say as a broken record. We already have enough laws on the books. If you just enforce them, we wouldn't need any more. I say as a broken record. This march isn't about more gun control. Well, it is about more gun control laws, but it's not about. It's just the next step in convincing, hopefully, enough Americans that guns must be gotten rid of. And it appears to me that it is also an attempt by moms to absolve themselves of any responsibility for what their kids might happen to do, be it with drugs, be it with the family car, be it with a 5-gallon water bucket, be it with a gun. Which takes us back to a subject that we frequently discuss here on the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, and that is personal responsibility. Here we have the Million Mom March with hundreds of thousands participating, asking to be exempted from responsibility for their actions. I find that repugnant. It's not the American way. Well, it used to not be. Back in just a second.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Hello, thank you for calling Zurich Direct. This is Wendy. How may I help you?
Hi, Wendy. I heard your ad, and I'd like to get a quote on some term life insurance.
Well, I'd be glad to help. Do you currently have insurance?
Yeah, but the rates seem really high, and they keep going up.
Well, through Zurich Direct, rates start as low as $10 a month and are up to 70% less than what some other insurance companies charge.
Wow.
And with one of our preferred policies, your rates will be locked in for 10 years guaranteed.
Call Zurich Direct at 1-888-554-TERM for a free no-obligation quote.
Does it take long to apply?
Not at all. Let me ask you a few quick questions.
Zurich Direct is a division of Zurich Kemper Life. If you're under age 75 and in good health, call Zurich Direct at 1-888-554-TERM for a free no-obligation quote. With a term life policy through Zurich Direct, you can save up to 70% with rates locked in for 10 years.
See? That was painless.
You're right.
Policy Z5001, underwritten by Zurich Life Insurance Company of America, Long Grove, Illinois, not available in all states.
I suppose at K&G we could just round off like everyone else does. So instead of saying our prices are 29 to 62.5% less than department stores, we would say 30 to 60% less. But our thinking is that if we started being less than straight on this, then whenever we'd say famous designer brands, you'd be wondering just how famous is famous. So thanks, but no thanks. We'll just keep saying, at K&G you'll find famous designer brand clothing for 29 to 62.5% less than department stores. Like Italian knit or silk shirts, $43 elsewhere, $20 here. Or fine wool blend tuxedos, which easily go for $300. Only $100 at K&G. Will you recognize the brands? Absolutely. Save a lot of money? Sure. Think it's worth the visit? Most men? Yeah. But understand, if you expect the cappuccino with your suit, no, you're not going to like us. Sorry. Actually, no, we're not. Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. K&G. Finally, the superstore for men.
K&G, located on Ingle Road at Bagley. Call 1-800-4KG-MENS. That's 1-800-4KG-MENS.
WTAM 1100.
In what's rapidly becoming a .com world, the process of looking for a home on the internet can seem confusing and unfriendly. With hundreds of thousands of real estate websites, where do you begin the search? There's an easier way. Call your Smythe Kramer Real Estate Counselor. We'll simplify your home search and help you find the home you want, eliminating internet overload, making the real estate process personal and pleasant. So give us a call. Then, let's go find your home.
And eliminating internet overload is just one of the areas in which Smythe Kramer Realtors can help. They also rank among the country's finest in knowing how to work with people. Our realtors excel in the art of personal service, in returning phone calls, providing prompt answers to questions, and in the business of caring. Because in a world comprised of people, the real issue is not how much information you can gather, but rather how much you care.
Smythe Kramer Realtors, reliable real estate counsel since 1903.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey, proud to be part of Cleveland's largest radio news team. That means more details, more in-depth coverage for you on News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Talent on loan from God. Rush Limbaugh, excellent role model for the youth of America, because that's important. 1-800-282-2882. It's Open Line Friday, so I guess I should go to the phones. We'll start Charlotte, North Carolina. Chuck, hello, sir.
Greetings, Rush, from a Rush connoisseur here in Charlotte.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank you. The reason I'm calling Rush, I read an article today. It's from the Associated Press article that says that the DNC reported raising more money in the first 3 months of this year than the Republican National Committee did. And I was thinking, in fact, I thought about this before, with the incredible success of your leukemia, your drive for leukemia. That was a great success this year, as always. And also with the bake sale of a few years ago in mind, I was wondering if you would consider doing a fund drive for the Republican National Committee.
No.
Why is that?
Very simply, they're going to have to earn it. They're going to have to earn the money they get by virtue of the way they perform. And I got to tell you something about this Elian Gonzalez business. Mm-hmm. Where has Congress been on this? I mean, we've got a representative republic here, 3 branches of government. And right now, one branch is running roughshod over the other 2. Well, the judicial branch hasn't gotten involved yet. The executive branch, which will include here the Justice Department, because Clinton appoints its head, is making a mockery of law. And the United States Congress isn't doing anything about it. The Republicans run Congress. Now, there's something they could do here. In fact, there are some who are saying that George W. Bush, as the presumptive nominee, could show a little leadership for the Republicans in Congress and get them behind him on what to do here about this situation with the kid. I think the problem is that there are a lot of family values Republicans in the House who think the kid should be reunited with his father. I don't think the Republican Party is unified, shall we say, on the future and fate of Elian Gonzalez. But even without that, I think, I can sit here and encourage donations to the Curathon for leukemia, because each year I'm able to come and tell you what's been done with the money in a progressive and achievement-oriented way. I'm not a shill for the Republicans. I really think that if they're going to get... in fact, I think that if this is true, and it's only the first 3 months, well, I got to tell you that over the course of the year, don't worry, the RNC is going to raise more money than the Democrats. It always happens. And it's going to happen as we get into the presidential cycle and into the convention year and all that. But to the extent that the Republicans are in a little bit of a second place here, they have only themselves to blame. They don't stand up to the administration for whatever reasons. And look, why are you being so hard on them? I'm not being hard on them. I'm just telling you what I think. I'm just observing. But I don't tell people to donate money to things that I have to sit here and do it on the basis of the come. Look, I'm sure they'll turn around. If you'll just give in, you send them your $25, I'm sure they'll turn around. I don't know that. I think they ought to have to earn it. And it's not up to me to do that. I'm not part of the RNC. I appreciate your sentiments and all that. But when it comes to winning, when it comes to ultimate victory, I want it to be genuine. I want it to be deserved. I want it to be with a mandate. I want the RNC to get donations because people genuinely support the ideas that they are advancing, so that the money can be used to implement them. And to that extent, we're going to have to wait to hear what those ideas are. And look, there are a lot of great people, don't misunderstand, a lot of fine people in the RNC, a lot of fine people in the House of Representatives and the Senate. But there are some troubles. The moderates in the House, 40 of them, moderate Republicans, think they run the show. I'm not eager to see those people get any money, to tell you the truth, the moderate Republicans. It's a big problem. So, as far as I'm concerned, not being redundant, they're going to have to earn it. And to earn it does not mean me persuading you that, trust me, folks, they'll do the right thing with it. I wouldn't feel comfortable, and that's not my role anyway. Barb in Schaumburg, Illinois, I'm glad you called. Welcome to Open Line Friday.
Hi, Rush. How are you?
Pretty good.
I'm a new listener about a month now, and I've learned to give you mega dittos.
Well, thank you.
Well, I wanted to talk about the Elian Gonzalez case. I talked to your screener, and I said one thing I really haven't heard anybody address is all this is a concept so far of this father wanting his child back. Is this just as some possession? And yet, the time he could have stopped this from happening was before they ever entered the water. And I said, what I looked were the people that first...
No, he couldn't have. He couldn't. Barb, wait a second now. And please don't be offended. He didn't know. Or there was no way he could stop it without tipping off what was going to happen. These people...
Okay, but I was basing on I was telling your screener on one of the reports that I heard on Fox News that he was even there with other family members to say goodbye to them before they left.
Yeah, okay, now I was going to get to that. There is a report out there that Juan Miguel Gonzalez is denying for what, and you can't, look, whatever he says is worthless. He got a gun to his head. So we don't know.
Okay.
I am more inclined, I'm not yelling at you, please, I'm passionate here. I'm more inclined to trust the family in Miami than I am anything coming out of Cuba.
Absolutely.
And the family in Miami says that they got a call from Juan Miguel Gonzalez before all this happened, saying that the mother and child were leaving on a makeshift raft to look for them and please take care of them. Now today, Juan Miguel Gonzalez is denying this, but the family in Cuba is saying that it happened.
But anyway,
in Miami is saying it happened.
I agree, but my point is that what I don't hear anybody addressing is the concept of parents who want to do something that is for the greater good, parents who really understand the concept of sacrifice. I mean, I can remember hearing years ago when I was a younger woman expecting my first child, and I was speaking to a woman who was the age I am now, mid-50s, and saying, you know, they grow up so fast, and they're only on loan to us from God, that, you know, so you've got to do your best during the time that you have them. And sometimes that time is not as long as it is for others. And I said, you look at that's the way our country was founded. Those first people that came over from England, I mean, they didn't all come as families. A lot of them had to say goodbye to people. My grandparents came over that way. Oh, the children, they didn't see their other relatives until 50 years later. And you saw this happen in World War II. Those who were trying to escape the Nazis and coming over. And again and again, you can see examples of people as parents who are saying to their children, you're going to have a better life, and this is what it takes. But I said, this me generation as well, this is my son, and I'm going to, you know, keep, it makes them sound so much like property.
Well, you, when you say me generation, I know what you mean, and what you're, I don't know whether you're specifically or not referring to it, but you're referring to the public opinion polls that show that 59% of the American people think the kid should be reunited with his father. All that means is, if true, that 59% of the American people don't have slightest clue what life is like in Cuba. And our entire culture has been roiling lately over parental custody rights. Now, there are a lot of dads out there who resent the fact that it's automatic, the mom gets the kid. Why, just because I'm the father, do I not get it? Why does the mother automatically get the kid? I'm better suited to raise the child than she is. She's a pill-popping, whatever, I don't know, you know, all the stuff that flies around. And it's become a big argument in our culture, and dads have been doing everything they can to get custody of their own kids. Oh, here comes a case here. Well, they're standing up for the dad. Dad's rights, mother's dead. It is taking place because there's a general ignorance of the squalor, dungeon-like conditions this kid's going to grow up in Cuba. Anyway, Barb, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I got to go because of the constraints of time. Be right back.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Cloudy 48 News Radio WTAM 1100.
My time, we didn't have many good times. Didn't have any highfalutin cappuccinos, neither. To us, a good day started off with a cup of gut-eating Joe. And for breakfast, we ate the grounds.
Yeah. Everyone will like the GM Good Wrench Service Plus Good Time Savings Days.
Dadnammit, cars couldn't even afford gas for them. Just pushed them around the yard like a rusty old wheelbarrow.
Until May 31st, you can get a tire rotation and balance for $34.99 or less.
Tire rotation? In my time, we drove cars. The wheels went round and round to us. That was tire rotation.
Okay, don't delay. Good Wrench Good Time Savings are over soon for most vehicles. Taxes extra. See participating dealer for details.
Good time savings. Good times? Well, I haven't had a good time since '04.
Take advantage of the $34.99 or less tire rotation and balance special today. To find a dealer near you, visit us at gmgoodwrench.com.
Spring is here. It's beautiful outside, and you know what that means. Outdoor grilling. You have to get over to Ace Hardware, West End Lumber in Independence. The Gourmet Grill Center. You won't believe the selection of grills waiting for you to purchase for this year's barbecue season. The Weber grill line is unbelievable, and so is the Duquesne line. Judge for yourself. The Gourmet Grill Center of West End Lumber, Ace Hardware is worth visiting. West End Lumber, Ace Hardware is located at 6500 Brockville Road in beautiful downtown Independence, 1/2 miles south of Rockside. With Duquesne Grills, you buy your last grill first. And with the Weber line, the legend lives on. You've got to see these grills. You won't believe what grills can do for your cooking. Can you smell it now? Your steaks and burgers just the way you like them. Perfect every time. You'll be a hit with your neighbors. Go see for yourself. The Gourmet Grill Center. West End Lumber, Ace Hardware at 6500 Brecksville Road in Independence. That's 6500 Brecksville Road in Independence.
The big one.
Ranger Station, please be my replacement.
Yes, sir. This is Mitsubishi calling.
Then you're not my replacement?
No, sir.
Oh, man.
Sir, we thought you'd like to know that the Mitsubishi Montero Sport now boasts the fastest growing sales of any SUV in its class.
Whatever.
And you can buy it right now for $0 down, 0 payments for 3 months, and 0% APR for 3 whole years.
Listen, buddy, I've been stuck in the middle of nowhere for that long, living on nothing but pine needles and... Did you say 0% APR?
For 3 years, yes, sir, which could save you thousands of dollars compared to a typical 8% APR car loan.
0% APR? I thought talking to squirrels was crazy.
Only if they start talking back, sir.
I'm definitely in trouble here.
Mitsubishi 000 April. Buy a Montero Sport or any 2000 Mitsubishi and get 0 down, 0 payments for 3 months and 0% APR for 3 very long years. 36 monthly payments of $27.78 per thousand finance at 0% APR. Important program and credit restrictions apply. Call 1-888-MITSU-2000 for details.
So, how many squirrels will it seat?
With or without their bags.
Tornado survival. In a mobile home or car, evacuate immediately and seek substantial shelter or lie flat in a low spot or ditch.
Monitor Northeast Ohio's official emergency alert station.
News Radio.
WTAM 1100.
Somebody just sent me an email note called a PMS parade. It's got to be about this Million Mom March. Hang on, let me check this. Let's see. Double click. Yeah. Somebody who wants me to say a la Ernest Hollings on the Million Mom March. There's a lot of PMSing going on out there. Thanks to the programming assistance. Delane in Dallas, you're next. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks, Rush. It's nice to be here.
You bet.
Sure Dallas dittos.
Thank you.
My perspective on the Elian Gonzalez thing is that I would love for the boy to stay over here, but as a divorced parent myself, I would be concerned that the possibility of, say, my ex-husband taking my 2 daughters to another country, dying, and then that other country saying, wait a minute, life will be better for them over here, and me not being able to get them back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. We're still back to the same old thing, a moral equivalency between the United States and, say, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti. I don't know what to do about this.
The big one.
This is James Hunziker, sales manager at Metro Lexus. Well, we did it. We shattered the old sales record, and I want to congratulate my sales staff. They are Antoine Board, Moa Maui, Lamont Williams, John Gilday, Bill Yergin, and special kudos to Bruce White for being Salesman of the Month. Great job, guys. Now that last month's history, I have a new challenge for my sales team, and that's good news for anyone who's looking for a quality used car, truck, or van. These guys want to sell you a car, no high pressure, no games, no baloney. Metro Lexus has a huge selection of pre-owned import, domestic, sport, and luxury vehicles to choose from, all fully safety inspected by our award-winning service department, and we stand behind every car we sell. So whether you're looking for an everyday car, a sunny day car, or a certified pre-owned Lexus, which is like no other car on earth, we have it, and it's priced to sell. Look for our ads daily in the Plain Dealer Classified, weekly in the Free Auto Mart magazine, or shop 24 hours a day at MetroLexus.com. Our world-class facility is located off 480 at West 130th and Brook Park, open late Mondays and Thursdays till 9. Metro Lexus, where friends send friends to buy a car.
Your home for Cleveland Indians baseball. This is the big one. Now, continuing coverage on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
They have called the last witness. Good afternoon, I'm Tom Moore. This is the 1 o'clock report on News Radio WTAM 1100. Details coming up. This news, a service of Nero Lincoln Mercury. Channel 3 weather, here's Mark Nolan.
On and off rain showers, some rumbles of thunder too, right near 59.
A couple of those rain showers scattered across greater Cleveland right now. Cloudy everywhere, 47 degrees at your official weather station, News Radio WTAM 1100. Dr. Sam Shepard, tried and convicted in 1954 of his wife's murder. 1966, retried and acquitted. 1970, he died. 30 years after his death, well, he's been on trial again of sorts as his son trying to prove Dr. Sam was wrongfully imprisoned. Today, a step court giving the third Sam Shepard case to the jury. Team coverage from our Greg Saber, who's been covering the trial since day one at the Justice Center.
Testimony in the Dr. Sam Shepard wrongful imprisonment trial is over. After 11 weeks, Judge Ronald Suster told the jury to be ready to hear closing arguments Tuesday.
We appreciate the attention you've given this case. Just get yourself some good rest. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Attorneys for both sides now prepare their closing arguments. One last chance before the case is turned over to the 8-member jury. At the Justice Center, Greg Saber, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
The father of Elian Gonzalez telling Janet Reno today about his wish to be reunited with his son. And a lawyer for one, Miguel Gonzalez, says he got some assurances that satisfied him.
It was a moment and a meeting that had
great emotion. And I think it was a very successful meeting.
Lawyer Gregory Craig says Gonzalez asked that the boy be returned to him instantly or as soon as possible. Anti-Castro protesters vowing to wage civil disobedience in Miami to protest plans to return Elian Gonzalez to his dad. Demonstrators staged a raucous but peaceful vigil near the home of Elian's great-uncle, lasted well into this morning. Cleveland's Hispanic population is growing, and the Salvation Army helping out by today opening a brand-new community center at West 44th and Clark. Salvation Army's Lieutenant Ricardo Fernandez says this is something that is really needed in the Ohio City neighborhood.
Well, I think the project is over $2.5 million project, and I think that's improved the community and will be great for the community here, because I think everything will be better for the service what we can provide here in our community.
That building has a chapel, classrooms, and also Hispanic advocacy offices. Ohio Super Lotto jackpot will be $28 million tomorrow night, but we're not flocking to buy tickets. The lottery's Sandy Lesko Mounts admits that we may be suffering from lotto burnout.
You could see sales in the $8 to $10 million range for a $20 million jackpot 9 years ago. Now you're conservatively in the $5 to $6 million range, if that.
And word is that changes in the Ohio Super Lotto may be coming sooner than later in order to get more of us interested in playing. Now, you can surf the web in total comfort. ABC's Daria Albinger explains it.
It was only a matter of time. First, the recliner, now the E-Cliner. It's a lazy boy for the cyber set. The new reclining chair is a joint project of, yes, Lazy Boy and Microsoft's Web TV. The Washington Post says it takes the Barcalounger design and adds an infrared keyboard which folds out of the left arm. And yes, it has a cup holder too. The E-Cliner will hit the stores this summer, and it should only set you back about $1,200. That includes the Web TV receiver. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Yeah, as far as what's happening on Wall Street, things looking pretty good today. The Dow Jones up 43 points. The NASDAQ is up 125. The broader index Standard & Poor's up about 14. Channel 3 weather is next. It's 104 at News Radio WTAM 1100.
2020 sports. Charles Johnson did it to the good guys again. A 3-run shot in the 6th, broke open a tie ball game as Baltimore took 2 out of 3 from the 1100.
Hello, this is Frank Nero with your business tip of the day. Watch your pennies and nickels and the dollars will follow. Now, many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those who don't, pay attention. In my 40 years of business experience, I've seen a lot of operations come and go. And those few who stay learn to provide a quality product or service at a cost-effective price. And believe me when I say it's easier said than done. Look at my dealership. My wood grain paneling is so old it is almost petrified. And the sign in the bathroom reminding you to lock the door, I personally wrote it out in magic marker over 10 years ago. And most of my furniture would fit right in at the Smithsonian. Now, I've kept things this way because we don't buy even so much as a paper clip unless it helps our customers directly. Otherwise, it just increases my overhead, which would cost our customers more. And I'm just not going to let that happen. So take it from me, Frank Nero. All Lincolns and Mercurys are created equal. It's the dealer that makes the difference.
Live Doppler radar. Storm tracking that's 6 minutes faster. Cleveland's official weather station. News Radio. WTAM 1100.
Channel 3 weather. Here's Mark Nolan.
Rain chances for you today and thunderstorm potential also. Expected high just about 59. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms once again down to 41. Temperatures drop off tomorrow. We'll have an early high of 48 degrees with rain changing over to snow in the afternoon.
Ooh, light rain right now. Cloudy skies everywhere, 47 degrees at your official weather station. I'm Tom Moore on Cleveland's only news radio, WTAM 1100.
Continuing coverage coming up at the bottom of the hour. Bulletins at 1. News Radio, WTAM 1100.
When our company moved into the new office, we needed twice as much telecom service and support. So as office manager, it was my job to find a provider. And I found KMC Telecom. The ad said KMC is the one-source solution for all our telecommunications needs. So I called. Local telephone service? Yes. Advanced voice and data services? Yes. T1 lines, DSL, and high-speed internet access? Yes. Video conferencing capabilities, and even long distance? Of course. And convenient? Sure. They have an office in our town. And the personalized service is fantastic. KMC Telecom, the one.
KMC is proud to be part of the Akron community and proud to be your partner in business. Call City Director Sean Kearns at KMC Telecom, Akron, 330-374-1345.
or toll free at 1-888-KMC the 1. KMC Telecom. Creative solutions with a hometown touch.
Rush Limbaugh on WTAM 1100.
Welcome back. It's Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. Another hour of broadcast excellence in your face, straight ahead. Superb to have you with us as we close out yet another stellar week of performance.
Live from New York, it's Open Line Friday 2000.
And this is where the topic tent, if you will, is wide open. I know many of you are probably sick and tired of discussing the Elian Gonzalez situation. Something else on your mind? This is the day. Open Line Friday. Callers rule. 1-800-282-2882 is the phone number. Email address rush@eibnet.com. So if you have a question about how the program operates, if you have some issue we discussed some time ago that you wanted to talk about then, but you couldn't get through, you still think the point's worth it, give it a shot. You never know. Again, the number is 800-282-2882. And, of course, if you want to talk about Elian Gonzalez, that's fair game, too. Feel free to do so. Let's take a look at the stack of stuff and find out what else is out there besides this. Mother's milk was banned Thursday from Britain's so-called Mother of Parliaments. Now you say, what is it? Mother's milk has been banned from so-called Mother of Parliaments? The reason for the ruling is that breast milk is just like food, and no food is allowed in Parliament. The decision to ban, in essence, breastfeeding during committee hearings was a blow to the growing number of women parliamentarians who complained there are few child care facilities at the centuries-old Parliament. Sir Alan Hazelhurst, chairman of Parliament's Ways and Means Office, said that rules for committee rooms where MPs pick apart legislation and grill ministers should be the same as for the House of Commons. Bringing refreshment into the room and the presence in the non-public area of the room of persons other than members of the committee are prohibited, he said. Application of either rule should be taken to include babies and the feeding of babies. I remind you that Prime Minister Tony Blair took power in 1997 with a record number of women members of Parliament and promised to make parliamentary life more suited to them. A failed promise. Well, we have our own interesting question about this. As you know, Tony Blair, lovely wife Sherry is pregnant, and there is a paternity leave law in Great Britain, which not so much requires, but suggests that fathers take time off too, along with mom, to share the burdensome aspects of child rearing. So they're out there asking Tony Blair, Tony, Mr. Prime Minister, are you going to take much time off to help your wife raise the child? And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have the courage to say, look, I've got a country to run. We have a nanny. We've got my wife. I've got a country to run. No, I'm not going to sit around and watch the kid breastfeed. That's what he ought to say. But he can't. I'm really going to talk to my wife about this. I really can't discuss it any further. I really wish you'd leave me alone about this. Totally embarrassed about it. And I wonder the way to get this done. Here's the way to get this changed. If they don't allow the bringing of food into Parliament, what Tony Blair ought to do is compromise. Instead of paternity leave, 1 or 2 days a week, bring the child to work. And take the paternity leave at the office and breastfeed the kid himself. And set an example. Let him tell the Prime Minister he can't do it. I guarantee you they'll get the policy changed. Told you earlier this week about a sad story from New Jersey where 4 New Jersey kindergarten kids were suspended for pointing fingers at each other as mock guns. Admittedly overcautious after last year's Columbine High School massacre and a rash of other school shootings, officials suspended 4 New Jersey kindergarten children for pointing fingers at each other as mock guns in a parent game of cop and robbers. The 6-year-old boys were suspended for 3 days after the March 15th incident during lunch recess in the playground at Wilson Screwel in Sayreville, a waterfront community of 35,000 harmless people. The local Home News Tribune newspaper reported in April 6th editions, that will be yesterday for those of you in Rio Linda, that one of the children shouted to another, "Boom, I got a bazooka, and I'm going to shoot you." Well, that did it. Parents of the suspended children and others of the school's 480 students feel the penalty was too severe, but Dennis Fife, which is a great name for an assistant superintendent, Dennis Fife, is assistant superintendent for the Sayreville School District, said yesterday that the disciplinary action by Principal Georgia Bowman was justified after several children came to teachers visibly upset by the incident. This wasn't a game of cop and robbers, Fife told Reuters. We didn't just observe kids playing and decide to suspend them. We're not irrational people here going off the deep end because some children are playing. Who accused you of it? Fife said the incident involved serious threats. Yeah, see this finger? It's a bazooka, and I want to shoot you with it. Aha, serious threat. Fife said the incident involved serious threats, but he refused to disclose details, citing confidentiality. Said the incident happened just weeks after threats at the school that prompted the principal to counsel children. Now, Dennis Fife, the assistant super, said, look, we're being beat up big time for this, but in light of what happened at Columbine, I'm going to take this more conservative view and avoid a catastrophe rather than have a tragedy. But suspending the children was too extreme and deprived the children of their right to an education, said Deborah Jacobs, executive director of the New Jersey chapter of the ACLU. You believe the ACLU says, hey, it was their fingers, toy guns, put them back in school. The ACLU? From Manchester, England, 2 total strangers who ripped off their clothes and indulged in sex acts during a transatlantic flight were fined by a British provincial court Wednesday for being drunk on an airplane. The pair from northern England, both married and dubbed the Mile High Couple by British media, met for the first time when they boarded an American Airlines flight from Dallas to Manchester last October. It's too bad this wasn't aboard United. You say, fly the friendly skies of Ignited. After drinking 2 bottles of wine, port, and cognac, the couple snuggled under a blanket as the lights were dimmed for the midnight in-flight movie. But they soon lost their inhibitions, the blanket, and most of their clothes. Nothing and no one, short of a bucket of cold water, could have stopped them. They were determined to continue until their passions were spent, and they did, one airline source told British media. The affair came to a swift end as the pair were arrested by police. Now get this. This is really strange. It reportedly has led to friction in both marriages. Well, why? The woman was also dismissed from her job. The man resigned from his, and the court fined them a total of $3,600. You know, there's not enough love in the world, folks. There really isn't. I mean, any time is all right. I mean, it's not enough love. We need to be encouraging things. I mean, it's up there, 35,000. Who knew? It was underneath a blanket. Is that? Oh, these busybodies running around trying to tell everybody how to live. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Scattered light rain, 47, News Radio WTAM 1100.
Well, you've been hearing from me for months about the stain removal specialists at Carbona, about how all stains can be broken down into categories. Now, there are 10 Stain Devils formulas that attack each one of them. Here, my friends, is a sample of the Carbona Stain Devils formulas available. There's one for chewing gum and glue. It can fix a sticky mess. One for ketchup and sauce. That's a favorite to have around barbecues and outdoor parties. There's even one for that pen you put upside down in your pocket. Carbona's ink formula will take that nasty blue stain right out. And let's say you spill a little bit of morning coffee on yourself. Carbona's coffee, tea, and cola formula eliminates it. So there you have it. Just a sample of what all 10 Carbona Stain Devils formulas can do for you. Buy all 10 Stain Devils formulas, and your clothing stains will be gone forever. And to make buying any Carbona Stain Devils formula easy, clip the money-saving coupon in Sunday's paper. Remember, Carbona Stain Devils, all 10 of them. They work. They've been tested. Give them a try.
Let's say you owe $3,000 in taxes. Wouldn't you like to get 3,000 airline miles for paying them? Now you can. Just charge your income taxes on a credit card. For a small convenience fee, you may earn a point, mile, or money back for every tax dollar you charge. It's fast, secure, easy, and authorized by the IRS. Just call Official Payments Corporation toll-free 888-2-PAY-TAX. You don't even need to remember the number. It's in your IRS instruction booklet. Official Payments accepts American Express, MasterCard, and Discover cards.
You're a U.S. Marshal driving with a convicted hitman. In return for information, the DA gave him immunity, a new identity, and a new home. You're helping him move in. As you pull into the driveway, you think, what if this was your neighborhood? So, do you hide a killer in the suburbs? Or let the neighbors know?
The History Channel lets you live the lives of U.S. Marshals from the Old West to witness protection this Monday through Thursday, 9, 8 Central, only on the History Channel.
Legends,
Courage and self-denial.
You play football with Hall of Fame. A solid week of gridiron glory. Legends Fantasy Camp Cleveland. A full week of intensive non-contact training with Northeast Ohio's legendary pros and top college and high school coaches. Legends Fantasy Camp Cleveland. June 5th through the 9th at Hiram College. Learn how to go at WTAM.cc and check out the chance to go free from Browns News Illustrated and the home of the Browns fan. WTAM 1100.
Introducing a new gift of nature, an all-natural dietary supplement, New Dexatrim Natural. Its dual-action formula puts you in control so you eat less, and it stimulates your body's natural ability to burn fat. Its herbal ingredients heartleaf, ginseng, and green tea have been used in Asia for over 2,000 years. Try the natural way to lose weight today. Dexatrim Natural, the power of nature, the proof of Dexatrim.
Mommy, are we almost there?
Remember what it's like to be impatient?
I've been stuck in the same job for 3 years.
Now you can do something about it. Acadio.com is the source for the professional learning resources you need to advance your career. Acadio.com gives you access to thousands of continuing education materials and self-study products all in one place.
Am I there yet?
You will be soon. ACADIO, Acadio.com. Learn more, go further.
As the official hotel of Cirque du Soleil, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts has its own way of performing for you. During our 50-50 weekend escape, spend a weekend night at a participating Wyndham and your second night is 50% off. Or we'll give you a second room for 50% off. It's your choice. To catch one of these delightful performances, simply call your travel planner or 800-WYNDHAM. WYNDHAM. Subject to availability, restrictions apply.
The Tribe travels to St. Pete to battle the Devil Rays tonight. Tribe Insider with Casey Coleman at 6, followed by Indians warm-up. The first pitch at 7:15 on your home for Indians baseball. News Radio, WTAM 1100.
You know, the polls on Elian Gonzalez say that 59% of the American people think the kid ought to be returned to his father, which isn't going to happen even if he goes back to Cuba. And that, by the way, that poll and the polling data is one of the things that is really empowering the administration to proceed here. I was checking around ABCnews.com website. Americans are broadly dubious that gun control would substantially reduce gun violence. You 100,000 moms marching in the Million Mom March might want to check this out. ABCnews.com, a couple days ago, Americans are broadly dubious that gun control would substantially reduce gun violence or that creating new gun laws is a better idea than simply enforcing existing ones. Doubts that combine to make the issue something of a political misfire. Nearly 2/3 of Americans do favor stricter gun laws, but people are not making the issue a top priority. Gun control ranks 9th out of 15 issues they call very important in their presidential vote. And the reason, the poll suggests, is that many people don't think such laws will deliver results. Only 25% of people think that more gun laws would reduce gun violence a lot, down a tad from 30% last fall. Nearly half don't think such laws would have any effect on gun violence at all. In fact, 53%, get this, 53% of the American people in the abcnews.com poll say the best way to reduce gun violence is simply to enforce the laws already in place. 40% favor creating new, stricter laws, or both. There you have it. Now, you think this poll will offer guidance to the administration and that they will take the data herein and be guided by it? Doubt it very much. Chuck in Augusta, Georgia, you're next. Welcome to the program, sir.
Hi, Rush. How you doing?
Pretty good.
It's an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking my call. Rush, I wanted to talk about Elian Gonzalez and his father, Juan Miguel. What I wanted to say was that we all know that this is not a battle between the relatives in Cuba and Juan Miguel. It's really a battle between the Cuban government and the relatives. We need to keep that in mind. There is a raw calculus, a gruesome calculus that has to go on in Juan Miguel's mind, that he can't do anything but what he's doing. Look, any responsible father...
No, wait a minute. What do you mean he can't be doing anything other than what he's doing? That's a raw calculus. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is he has another child in Cuba. It's not just a gun to his head. It's a gun to all his family. If the
okay, I see what you mean, yes.
If the Cuban government comes to me and says, I'm going to kill you and your parents if you don't get that child back here, I'm like, well, okay, go ahead. And if they throw my wife into the picture, I'm going to her and I'm saying, listen, dear, I'm sorry, but I believe in sacrificing for our children, even if she's the stepmother. Once they bring that other child in there, it becomes a new story. His choice is, I either bring Elian back here, I either let Elian stay in the United States and he gets a better life, and my other child and all my family feel the full weight of the Cuban government, or I bring Elian back and hope that the promises that the Cuban government give me about how things are going to be wonderful and we're going to take care of you and, by the way, we won't kill all of you and torture you, are going to be kept.
Yeah, I don't think he's thinking that at all. This guy is smart enough to know what's in store for him. He's smart enough to store. It's all about staying alive for him right now.
Exactly.
You're right. It's all and keeping his family alive. But it's not about any promises of the future that are of a rosy scenario in Cuba.
Rush, can I say something about the Republicans on this issue too?
Yeah, sure.
Look, I am once again so disappointed. Look, you talked about the 59% poll. All these Republicans have constituents who think this is just an issue of fathers' rights. And it's just family. But the congressmen are educated on the issue. They know what the Cuban government is about. And this is just another case. It goes all the way back to where they lose ground not standing up to a horrible Clinton administration. The Clinton administration is cooperating with the Cuban government to oppress the Gonzalez family both in Cuba and in the United States. Fidel Castro, through the Clinton administration, is able to reach his hand into Florida and oppress a family. And the Republicans just stand by. They know what's going on. Their constituents may not, but they do. This dates back all the way, you know where they lost ground to Clinton? It wasn't when they shut down the government. It was when they opened it back up, when they caved into Clinton. If they had held on, the polls would have shifted in their favor. People would have blamed Clinton eventually, but they keep backing down. All these Republican congressmen, I'm telling you, I was pretty excited about George W. Bush maybe winning, and for the first time, the Republicans holding both the presidency and both houses of Congress in like 4 generations. But they're not going to win if they have no backbone. I'm disgusted by this.
Well, the thing you've got to understand is that there are a lot of Republican congressmen who intellectually, genuinely believe the kid ought to be with his father. Steve Largent is one. As a family values Christian. He actually thinks so. He's not posturing to polls, not responding to polls in his district or anywhere else. He actually thinks it. So it's not a monolithic view on the Republican side here. There are many people who think that parental rights override everything. Again, the frustrating thing is that this kid is not going to be with Juan Gonzalez. He's custody of the state. It's getting old, folks, saying the same stuff over and over again. I think, look, you better get used to it. The kid is going back. The bottom line here, the kid is going back. It's only now in terms of the future how it's going to happen and whether or not It's going to be entertaining to watch. Will the Miami family turn him over peaceably? Will the INS have to get a court order? Will they disobey the court order? Will marshals have to use force to go in there and get the kid? Will the family, even with marshals pointing guns at them, turn the kid over? Will they take the kid underground? Will Juan Miguel defect? You know, the greatest thing that could happen here is if Juan Miguel Gonzalez attempted to defect. I don't think it's possible because he's under house arrest in the home of the Cuban diplomat in Bethesda, Maryland. But it's just a matter of time before the child goes home. I mean, these arguments that we're having are, I actually think the value of the arguments that we're having have to do with the future of America and the education of the American people and the concept of freedom. Nothing we say here is going to change the outcome of the Elian Gonzalez story. It is clear this administration does not want to make Fidel Castro mad. There's some deal hinging on this kid going back. This kid's going back. Now, there are political weaknesses that this administration thus exposes for future campaign tactics, so to speak. But unless something dramatic changes that nobody can foresee, the kid's going back. It's been in the cards for weeks now. And it really is going to boil down to that family in Miami as to whether or not they peaceably turn him over or not. And then it'll just become, as I say, one giant entertaining soap opera for the American people to keep track of on TV each and every day. Sort of like a horse race sees who, or an election, who's winning on a day-to-day basis, without real serious regard for the human beings involved and their future. We have some interesting audio about all this. I haven't gotten to it yet today. We could play some of it. We'll do that when we come back on Open Line Friday. 800-282-2882 is the number. Stay with us.
The big one.
Man, I don't believe this. Now you can name your own interest rate and terms with Priceline Mortgage. You make an offer, you get an answer in less than one business day. Priceline Mortgage will match your exact terms with guaranteed low closing costs and a guaranteed rate. You may receive up to 4 offers from some of the nation's best lenders. And Priceline Mortgage's experienced loan counselors will help you every step of the way. So name your own mortgage rate and terms online at Priceline.com. Mortgage service provided by Priceline Mortgage, an equal housing lender.
Do you know that sound? That's someone grinding their teeth in their sleep. As a dentist, I know the damage nighttime teeth grinding can cause. How annoying it can be to the person you sleep with. I'm Dr. Gene Wagner, and that's why I developed the Doctor's Night Guard. It works like the mouthpieces I fit for my patients. Only you do the fitting yourself, simply and easily. It saves you money, it saves your teeth, it may even save your sex life.
Available at Walgreens, CVS, and other fine stores.
Your home for Cleveland Indians baseball. This is the big one. Now, continuing coverage on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
It's 1:30. Good afternoon. I'm Tom Moore. This headline update is service of renewal by Anderson. Both sides have rested in the Sam Shepard wrongful imprisonment trial. They'll take Monday off, closing arguments on Tuesday. An East Cleveland woman who faked her way into a Yale University graduate program has been sentenced to 3 years probation, and she has to repay 2 scholarships. The father of Elian Gonzalez telling the Attorney General he is the true family of his son. The lawyer says they received assurances about the boy's return. The bill lifting the Social Security earnings cap, signed today by President Clinton. Dow Jones up 27, NASDAQ up 126. Channel 3 weather, a wet, cloudy afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm even. High today, 59. Temperature is still trying to get up there. It's 47 at your official weather station. I'm Tom Moore. Next update at 2 on News Radio WTAM.
Renewal by Anderson. After 24 years in this house, we really needed new windows.
Oh, tell me.
We went to the home shows. We saw hundreds of white vinyl windows. They all looked alike.
Yeah, terrible.
Every company said they had the best window. And then we saw Renewal by Anderson. Finally, a great-looking window from a company we could trust.
Yeah, and these windows are not like other replacement windows. Personally, I like the fact that the frames are made of Fibrex material, something you can only get from Renewal by Anderson. It's a strong window with a strong warranty, and the window carries the Anderson name.
Our new windows are beautiful, and the installers were fantastic.
Well, what do you expect? It's Renewal by Anderson.
Just in time for spring, you can earn up to $500 in gift certificates from Gale's Garden Centers with the purchase of 10 replacement windows from Renewal by Anderson. Call 1-800-421-2434 today. That's 1-800-421-2434. Renewal by Anderson, serving all of Northern Ohio.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
Even the most computer savvy might be surprised to learn there are hundreds of thousands of real estate websites. So finding housing information isn't the challenge. Knowing what to do with it becomes more difficult. Your Smythe Kramer Realtor will counsel you through this ocean of housing information, providing step-by-step guidance, assuring that your home search proceeds smoothly. So give us a call and simplify your home search.
And we're aware no two home buyers are alike, which is why your Smythe Kramer Real Estate Counselor customizes a home search program to match your specific home buying needs. In addition to seeing only those homes which meet your specifications, our realtors provide instant information on neighborhoods, housing values, schooling, even income figures. So ask a Smythe Kramer Realtor to personalize your home search.
Smythe Kramer Realtors, reliable real estate counsel since 1903.
The big one.
You have a better chance of getting invited to the Masters or breaking par at Pebble Beach than finding a suit or a sport coat not on sale during the Joseph A. Bank Spring Clothing Sale. Quite simply, every single suit and sport coat in the store is on sale, like the finely tailored Executive Collection year-round wool suit, an absolute value at $395. Now, only $199.99. Even select Business Express suit separates, just $199.99. And all pattern sport coats, $199.99. The Joseph A. Bank Spring Clothing Sale for absolute value. Like the Executive Collection suit, regularly $395. Today, $199.99.
Joseph A. Bank in Shaker Plaza, 20040 Van Aken Boulevard in Shaker Heights, or online at josbank.com.
Rush Limbaugh on WTAM 1100.
Half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Bill Rush, both serving humanity at the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. All right, Greg Craig, after a meeting with Janet El Reno today, he's the attorney, of course, for Juan Miguel Gonzalez, the father of Elian Gonzalez, came out and reported on how the meeting between Juan Gonzalez and the Attorney General Janet El Reno went.
We had a very good meeting with the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Immigration and Naturalization Services. In the course of this meeting, Juan Miguel conveyed to Ms. Reno and Ms. Meissner the depth of his pain and his feelings and his love for his child.
Stop the tape. What else is he got to do? He's under a gun. He's been rehearsed. He's been told what to do. And if he does, and by the way, you know the guy's going to be emotional because he's scared to death. His life, the life of his family in Cuba depends on this performance. Resume tape.
And he made the request for their assistance to have him return to them instantly or as soon as possible. They gave assurances to him that satisfied him on this point. It was a moment and a meeting that had great emotion. And I think it was a very successful meeting.
Sure it was the whole thing's the deck stacked. That the thing was written. There was a script. Of course it was emotional. The guy's up there knowing he's going to die if he doesn't pull this off. On Good Morning America today, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, the guest, Jack Ford, says, Congresswoman, the protesters have argued that Juan Miguel Gonzalez has never been allowed to speak freely. They've even said that while he's here in the United States, he's still surrounded by agents of the Cuban government. Did he appear to be speaking freely and candidly with you when you spoke with him yesterday?
You know, Jack, I'm not a psychologist, but let me say this. I even brought my own interpreter so I would have no intervention of anyone representing or working for the Cuban government. We talked face-to-face, close-up, eye-to-eye. And I can tell you that Juan Miguel Gonzalez was firm in his love for his son, firm in his desire to have him back, and firm in his representation to me that President Fidel Castro does not control him. He is a father who has come finally, having been denied before, to seek Elian, to bring him home, and to bring him home to a loving situation.
Oh, come on, Congresswoman. How can you sit there and believe that? No control. Why wasn't he here in the first plane out then last Thanksgiving? How come it took an American charter, an American lawyer, and Bill Clinton to get this thing arranged if he's not under the control of Fidel Castro? What, you know, people don't want to see the truth here. They do not wish to use their brains. Well, this was followed, a comment was made by a Miami Spanish language radio talk show host. Because I'm sorry, this is not the same show. I'm sorry, it's a different show. It's Rivera Live last night, and it's Maxine Waters. And a columnist in Miami who also is host of Florida's top-rated Spanish language radio talk show. And they get into a little bit of an argument. Maxine Waters has just explained why Elian Gonzalez should go home with his father. And Ninoska Perez, the columnist, responds.
I am really amazed at the hypocrisy of the Congresswoman, because if this would have been a father in South Africa, and that father would have come to the United States to stay at the South African embassy surrounded by racist members of the South African government, it would have been unacceptable. But it seems acceptable to her that Juan Miguel is speaking freely and he's surrounded by Castro's agents. So why can't this man come and meet with his family, with his son? It seems to me that she's concerned with hurrying to send this child back to a dictatorship without having the opportunity that that father should speak freely.
Congresswoman, you want to respond?
Well, yes, it's ridiculous what she's saying. And they can stop singing that tired song at this point. No, Juan Gonzalez would be out of his mind to come down there. You see what's happening down there.
Really, why?
What do they expect?
Why?
They expect him to come down there.
Respond to the question, Congresswoman. Respond to the question as if this would have happened
well, listen,
in South
you can't
Africa.
shout me down.
Oh, sounds like she did. You can't shout me down. I thought it actually ran on a little longer than that, according to my cue sheet. Apparently not. Well, let's move on to the next one. Maxine Waters again, and Ninoska Perez, the columnist in Miami. The cat fight, if you will, continued.
I do not think that they ever intend to relinquish him. They are now saying that they must do it again he must do it in their way. He's got to come there. He's got to have their psychiatrist. He's got to, I guess, come to the house. I think it's absolutely outrageous.
Good, Ninoska?
Why is it outrageous for this man? This family did not kidnap this child. That man called from Cuba 3 days before the child arrived and told them he was on the way. Then he asked them to take care of him. And then when Castro came into the picture, he changed his tune. How do they know that he's not being coerced? How do you know, Congresswoman, that
it doesn't matter. He is the child's father.
It does matter. It does matter
the child's father. You are not the child's mother.
It is shameful.
You are not the child's mother. You are not the child's mother or father. You don't have a right to it. And I'm not trying to take him from his parents. You are trying to take this child from his father. It is shameful what you're doing. You're trying to take the child.
That you're defending a dictatorship, Congressman.
This has nothing to do with a dictatorship.
Yes, it
and that's the problem. You're trying to fight Castro and use this child to do it.
No,
and that's
the problem
unfortunate.
is people like you that defend dictatorships.
Well, you can see that emotions are running high in South Florida and in Washington, D.C. Congresswoman Waters, for whatever it's worth, I think should be pointed, is indeed siding with the Castro dictatorship. Here's Robert in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I'm glad you called. You're on Open Line Friday.
Yes, good afternoon. I guess we're talking about Elian, and I don't want to talk about him.
No, bring in whatever you want.
Yeah, what I want to say is we got to take a look at what we're doing to our kids in this country. Like with the school violence, we're talking about those kindergarten kids.
Sayreville, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, they're first graders. They're 6 years old.
Okay. And what I see happening is the media has used events like Columbine to scare people into thinking that school violence is much more common than it is. Actually, it's the lowest point that it's been at in 10 years. And the local media outlets like television, newspapers, they all go to the local schools and say, hey, are you afraid of this happening in your school? And then they start to get people fantasizing that, hey, my kid could be shot in school, and the school board directors are really not afraid of the kids. They're afraid of the parents, and they're afraid of the media, and they don't have the guts to stand up and stop this silliness, this kind of national hysteria that we've entered into.
So you think it's excessive to suspend kids for 3 days for pointing a finger at somebody and saying, "Hi, this is a gun, it's a bazooka, and I'm going to shoot you"?
It's excessive to do that. It's excessive to put metal detectors, police, dogs, backpack bans, drug tests, all these kind of...
You have a kid that goes to school?
I do.
Okay, I do not, and I am often criticized when I discuss this because I say things similar to you, and I get comments, email, phone calls from people who say, "Rush, you don't know what it's like because I get up and I am scared to death sending my kid to school. I don't know if there's going to be a shooting break out or a bomb go off or whatever. It's not like it used to be, Rush. It's bad out there. It's bad. And they're going to do something about it." And a lot of parents are scared to death, Robert. Why aren't you?
Right. What they need to do is be scared, because I know who's scaring us. It's not the children, because violence is down in schools. It's the local newspapers. It's the local television stations that have a conflict of interest in making us believe that we should be scared. And it gets our attention. It gets our adrenaline, testosterone levels up. And we have when someone tells your kid might be shot in school, that's very powerful.
I know.
And it's very terroristic. So then we have also kids doing bomb threats that are phony. But we keep talking about it. It's a sick kind of entertainment we've entered into. Maybe after Lewinsky and the impeachment and bombing Iraq faded, the media all geared up, had nothing to focus on. Along comes Columbine. All of a sudden, it's a problem in my school.
Well, it wasn't just Columbine. There's Paducah, there's Jonesboro, there's a number of them.
Right, but all those, if you look at the fatalities in schools, they've been steadily decreasing every year, including last year, and that perhaps, I think there's hundreds of black kids, for example, are killed on the streets of America, and there's less than 30 kids that are killed in white schools, okay, but it's when the white kids kill each other that we seem to get upset. Okay, and then we are really doing a lot of psychological damage to the kids of America by setting up these kind of prison protocols, moving more towards environments where kids can't develop trust. They can't develop even trust. The school even knows reality from fantasy, that their fellow students might be assassins. Why are we doing this? Why are we allowing...
Answer the question, because I can give you one.
Okay, we're doing it because we're involved in a perverse form of entertainment in the media, and that the media really needs to have a dialogue and really confront themselves and stop doing this.
Maybe, but I think it's worse than that. And I touched on it earlier this week in a highly acclaimed monologue. I think that it all centers on the desire of many people in this country to control as many aspects of other people's lives as possible. And one of the quickest ways to get people to turn control of their lives and their children over to others is to infuse them with fear. And there's no greater fear than that being of your child perhaps being blown up or shot in a school. I'm not discounting your theory of the media's role in it. I think the media has a conspiracy here to keep this stuff alive. Now, local news, granted, the top 5 stories every night are blood and guts, shoot-'em-ups, this sort of stuff, but this is nothing new. It goes way back and predates the school shootings. See, I've got a theory. So I actively believe that the left in this country is very slowly and very purposely attempting to gain control for the purposes of seeking perfection, perfectly ordered society, over as many aspects of our daily movements as possible under the guise of safety and security. And that we are willing to turn over control of some of our freedoms to that bureaucracy or those bureaucratic institutions, a school, a government, or what have you, in order to not feel fear, in order to feel safe about our children's situation. Take a look at these kids, for example. Now, I don't have infant children, never will. Well, can't say that, but I don't plan on it. And anyway, but I do have, because of my own childhood and because I paid very careful attention to the way I was raised, my mother is largely responsible for the way I turned out. And my mother let me dream. And she promoted the dreams. And she let me pretend. And she promoted my pretending. She let me be a kid. She did not try to place artificial boundaries and constraints around me and say, no, you can't point a gun. I got to play Cowboys and Indians. I got to pretend I was an astronaut. I got to pretend I was on Bonanza. I mean, that's the purpose of a young mind. A young mind knows no boundaries. Nothing's impossible. Everything's possible. Some people get all worried when a kid thinks that he's, for example, a member of the cast of Bonanza. Uh-oh, something terribly wrong in there. We got to get this kid to a shrink fast. No, it's totally normal, or used to be considered normal. It's how the human mind grows, and there's the essence of innocence is just that. And we're trying to take 6-year-olds now and pointing guns, which has been going on for as long as anybody can remember, and equating that with actually pointing a bazooka at somebody. You want to constrain some child's imagination? You want to constrain some child's creativity? You want to constrain some child's growth? Then go ahead and be this paranoid about it. This is what I'm worried about. And the more this is successful, the more constraints on child imagination and dreams, the more easier it's going to be to control them as they grow up, because they're not going to dream. They're not going to imagine. Or at least not as many of them are. And those who do are going to be considered the radicals who have escaped somehow the attempt to control them, which is what the bureaucracies are all about, control, for the purpose of happiness and security. And day by day, we all surrender just a little bit more of our freedom because it makes us feel safer. That's my concern with all this. Back in a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Scattered light rain, 47, News Radio WTAM 1100.
Front desk.
This is 224. The heat in my room's got a smell.
Got to fill out a report. Does it smell like A, paint, B, baloney, or C, feet?
I don't know.
Well, is it rank or merely pungent?
Can I get a different room?
Sure.
Thank you.
Of course, it'll smell too.
Should have picked an Econo Lodge. With the official Mr. Clean Housekeeping program, Econo Lodge is always cleaner. Call 1-800-55-ECONO or save 10% at econolodge.com. Our rates are low, not our standards.
Whoa, lots of laundry this week.
Yeah, Bob, I just came back from Maui.
Maui?
Yep.
And you didn't invite Bob, your dry cleaner, to Maui, the Magic Isle?
Bob, it was my honeymoon.
So we could have all walked on the beaches, gone swimming under cascading waterfalls, danced the hula, eaten poi and pokey at a real luau.
We did all that, but we also did, personal honeymoon stuff.
Oh, please, not that. What a way to start a marriage.
Maui. See it with someone you love. Call 1-800-525-MAUI. That's 1-800-525-MAUI or online at visitmaui.com.
Tony Roma's world famous grill. Follow that aroma. Come on and get your fill.
Blaze a trail right now to world-famous Tony Roma's, where we just might do whatever it takes to get you to try our amazing plain grilled chicken and ribs dinner. Starting with a large 1/4 chicken, basted in Tony Roma's original barbecue sauce and plain grilled to perfection. Then we throw in a half slab of our world-famous St. Louis-style barbecue ribs, and we give you sides. It all adds up to a very big, tasty, plain grilled feast at a special price. Tony Roma's delicious chicken and ribs dinner. Tempted? Hey, whatever it takes.
Tony Roma's, whatever it takes to make it great.
For a limited time, enjoy a chicken and St. Louis-style rib dinner for only $12.99 at Tony Roma's. Now open in Westlake.
WTAM 1100.
Is your old car a burden? It may be to you, but for others it could be a great help. Why not consider donating your car to the L'Chaim Society? L'Chaim means to life. The L'Chaim Society helps people improve their lives with educational and outreach programs for adults, families, children, adolescents, and the elderly and infirm. Call 1-800-288-7799 and they'll come pick up your car. It's that easy. It doesn't matter the condition of your car. They'll even tow it away free of charge. In exchange, you'll get a tax-deductible receipt for the fair market value of your car. You might find that you save more money in taxes by donating your car than you could make by trying to sell it yourself. And best of all, it's hassle-free. Call 1-800-288-7799. Take this opportunity to help others and possibly save money on your taxes. Call 1-800-288-7799. 24 hours a day, 1-800-288-7799. They're waiting for your call. Do it today.
Hi, it's Webster. Bill and Casey will unravel the draft and get us ready for the tribe opener. And I've got bad news for cell phoners. Will's Webster Coleman, Monday morning, News Radio, WTAM, 1100.
Friday, El Rushball serving humanity. Phone number 1-800-282-2882. Springfield, Missouri. This is Corey. Hello. Nope. Nathan in New Albany. Is anybody ready to go yet or not?
Hello.
Who is this, Nathan?
No, this is Corey in Springfield.
Corey in Springfield. Hello, sir. Great to have you with us.
Hello, Mr. Limbaugh. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
I was just wondering if the Million Mom March and the rest of these do-goodniks knew that in Cuba, they train these kids in grade school to field strip AK-47s, real machine guns, up to a point where they can do it blindfolded. I wonder if they're aware of that.
How do you know that?
It's been in magazines. They tout it. It's part of their...
I know that in Cuba and Nicaragua, when they teach math, I mean, because textbooks have been found. I mean, the textbooks, whereas we use apples and oranges to teach mathematics to secondary students, they use hand grenades and machetes and machine guns and this sort of thing. I mean, it clearly put a militaristic and revolutionary mindset on everything they teach young kids in Cuba.
Yes, it's part of their culture. And, I mean, if they really care about this child, surely they wouldn't want him to be around all these bad guns.
Well, the Million Mom March, all 100,000 of them, they don't care a whit about the Elian Gonzalez issue. These are two separate things, and you could get hold of the organizers of the Million Mom March with 100,000 attendees and say, what about Cuba? You know, they're actually teach 11-year-olds how to strip an AK-47 blindfold, put it back together, load it and everything else. Does that bother you? No, we're here. Stop proliferation of guns in America. We don't carry concern with Cuba. But what about Elian Gonzalez? That's one child. It's a custody case. It should be with the father. One of the things we've learned over the course of many years is that reason does not work with the left in terms of winning arguments. They're not going to lose arguments. They're not going to admit that their worldview is set. It's just a matter of advancing it. No matter how much deception is required, it's not... I mean, you convince a couple of them. We do it here every day, but mass movement-wise, it's an overwhelming task. I mean, keep doing it, keep trying it. But that kind of argument is interesting for people to know, but I don't think it would have any effect at all on the Million Mom March, nor any participants deciding not to show up. Quick break, back in just a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network 2000.
Scattered light rain, 47, News Radio WTAM 1100.
Commercials are more effective if you use real people. So on the line is Angie McPhee, a Geico auto insurance customer who saved over $300. This is not an actor we hired to play Angie McPhee. It's the Angie McPhee. So in your own words, tell us, are you Angie McPhee?
Yes.
There. Unmistakable proof that Geico customers are real and save money. In 15 minutes, you could save 15%. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
And now, a memory education moment, courtesy of Crucial.com, the memory experts. Flash memory retains data when power is removed and is not a recollection of that college incident during the 70s. EEPROM is a special type of chip, not a web ring for socially challenged teens. Polysilicon assists in interconnections with devices, not in the careers of aspiring swimsuit models. This message brought to you by Crucial.com, the memory experts, reminding you to upgrade today for better system performance. You're welcome.
I suppose at K&G we could just round off like everyone else does. So instead of saying our prices are 29 to 62.5% less than department stores, we would say 30 to 60% less. But our thinking is that if we started being less than straight on this, then whenever we'd say famous designer brands, you'd be wondering just how famous is famous. So thanks, but no thanks. We'll just keep saying, at K&G you'll find famous designer brand clothing for 29 to 62.5% less than department stores. Like Italian knit or silk shirts, 43 elsewhere, 20 bucks here. Or fine wool blend tuxedos, which easily go for 300. Only 100 at K&G. Will you recognize the brands? Absolutely. Save a lot of money? Sure. Think it's worth the visit? Most men? Yeah. But understand, if you expect the cappuccino with your soup, no, you're not going to like us. Sorry. Actually, no, we're not. Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. K&G. Finally, the superstore for men.
K&G, located on Ingle Road at Bagley. Call 1-800-4KG-MENS. That's 1-800-4KG-MENS.
WTAM 1100. You know, spring cleaning isn't so bad. Not when you tackle the job with a smile. And
2,000 horsepower. Yep, that's a front-end loader. Now, if your house is beginning to look like a warehouse, clean up the easy way with the Plain Dealers Fast Cash Classifieds. Right now, home furnishings ads are 50% off when you call 999-5555. Sell furniture, stereo gear, appliances, TVs, or VCRs. Plus, place an ad today and you're automatically entered to win 6 months cleaning service. Imagine, somebody else gets to do all the dirty work. So what's it going to be? This? Or just lifting one finger and calling 216-999-5555 and saving 50% off a Plain Dealer Fast Cash Classifieds home furnishings ad and have a chance to win 6 months cleaning service. Right now, run a 5-line, 5-day ad for only $7.50. Private party only, 1 ad per household. Offer ends April 30th, 2000.
Ohio averages 15 tornadoes every year. On average, 5 people die. Severe spring weather can strike at a moment's notice. Be prepared.
Get informed with your official weather station. News Radio. WTAM 1100.
The story is Bill changes Social Security, not Clinton legislation. Starts out this way. Hundreds of thousands of American workers over age 65 will no longer lose Social Security benefits because they work. Now, some time ago, when the Republican Congress first raised this was a Republican Congress idea, Clinton opposed it because Social Security was in crisis. We couldn't do this. Remember, Clinton is a guy who raised the level of taxation or raised the level of the amount of income Social Security recipients receive subject to taxation. This is a Republican idea. It's another one that we've lost credit for. The GOP first raised the idea of allowing Social Security recipients to continue earning wages after age 65 and still get benefits. Clinton originally opposed it, just like welfare reform, just like balancing the budget. And now when I read this Associated Press story about it, why, the whole thing was his idea. Hundreds of thousands of Americans over age 65 will no longer lose Social Security benefits because they work. President Clinton signed legislation repealing the Depression-era penalty in a White House ceremony scheduled today. You do find Congress passed legislation repealing Social Security's earnings limit last month without a dissenting vote deep in the story. Be back in just a moment.
WTAM 1100.
I'm Kim Mahalik for the good people at Omni Fitness. Now, if you're thinking about getting in shape now that spring has sprung, then now is the time during Omni Fitness Equipment Specialist Spring Training Event. From now until April 18th, the nation's leading retailer of Life Fitness home exercise equipment is offering a free $500 merchandise certificate with the purchase of any regularly priced Life Fitness treadmill, elliptical cross trainer, or recumbent life cycle. That's right, help yourself to $500 in free fitness equipment from Omni's wide selection of accessories and strength training equipment. Be sure to take advantage of 6-month no-interest, no-payment financing, as well as Omni's exclusive Motivator program. Omni's spring training event ends April 18th, so hurry in now. Omni Fitness has 3 Cleveland locations: in Oakwood Village at 25405 Broadway Avenue, in Westlake at 26143 Detroit Road, and in Pepper Pike at 30779 Pine Tree Road. Call 877-219-4058 or visit omnifitness.com for details.
Your home for Cleveland Indians baseball. This is the big one. Now, continuing coverage on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Next week, the Sam Shepard jury gets the case. Good afternoon, I'm Tom Moore. This is the 2 o'clock report on News Radio WTAM 1100. Details coming up. The news, a service of East Ohio Gas. Channel 3 weather, here's Mark Nolan.
Rain moves in today, possible thunderstorms, 59.
Got some scattered showers around, light mostly, 47 degrees at your official weather station, News Radio WTAM 1100. The last witnesses have now been called in a celebrated murder case. On trial now for the 3rd time in 46 years. Team coverage from News Radio WTAM 1100's Greg Saber at the Justice Center.
After 11 weeks of often turbulent testimony, heated exchanges, and courtroom maneuvers, testimony in the Dr. Sam Shepard wrongful imprisonment trial has ended.
You may call your next witness. We have no further witnesses. State of Ohio? No witnesses, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, That concludes the evidence in this case.
The state and plaintiffs will get Monday off to prepare for their final arguments Tuesday. At the Justice Center, Greg Saber, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Now, the jury will not be deciding guilt or innocence in the traditional way because this is a civil trial. What they have to decide is, if Dr. Sam Shepard is absolutely innocent of his wife's murder, that would open the way for his son to sue the state of Ohio. An East Cleveland woman who faked her way into a Yale University graduate program sentenced today to 3 years probation. 24-year-old Tanika Jenkins also has to repay $16,000 in scholarships. Prosecutors in Connecticut say that Jenkins created transcripts and recommendation letters from 2 schools, one of which she hadn't even attended. The scheme unraveled when a professor at Yale tried to verify the perfect grades in her transcript, called the references, who had never heard of her. Elian Gonzalez's father met with Attorney General Janet Reno today, hoping to become reunited with his son. Team coverage from ABC's Bill Greenwood in Washington.
Juan Miguel Gonzalez appeared solemn and determined as he left the meeting, which lasted just over an hour and which was described as very emotional. He asked the Attorney General for the immediate return of his son Elian, and Reno later released a statement saying she intends to take every step to ensure the transfer and that it occurs in what she called a fair, prompt, and orderly manner.
Meanwhile, late word that one of little Elian's great uncles has arrived in Washington from Miami. Delphin Gonzalez hopes to meet with Elian's father. You no longer have to sacrifice the rewards of working beyond the age of 65. The president signing into law today that bill repealing the Social Security earnings limit. Basically said you can only earn so much money and then still collect your full Social Security benefits. President saying, finally something everybody can agree on.
Today we have proved the conventional wisdom wrong. This is an election year. This is important, and it happened by a unanimous vote of the United States House of Representatives and Senate. So much for the conventional wisdom, and good for the seniors in America.
If you're looking for money, you can also play the Super Lotto. Jackpot tomorrow night, $28 million. Lottery saying today they wish more of us were playing.
Generally, we're not really making a profit to speak of until we hit about $20 million, which has happened at least 4 times since January. So we're pretty excited about it being higher than that.
Sandy Lesko-Mounts of the Ohio Lottery says their belief is that, well, we're just suffering from jackpot fatigue. We're not playing as much, especially because we're kind of jaded after seeing those triple-digit million-dollar jackpots in the Powerball states. Dow Jones right now is up 11 points. The NASDAQ up 114. Channel 3 weather is next. It's 2:04 at News Radio WTAM 1100.
2020 sports after losing 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. Tribe travels to Tampa Bay, where tonight Jared Wright gets his first start against the D-Rays' Juan Guzman. First pitch comes your way at 7:15 right here on your home for Indians baseball. The Cavs travel to Indiana for a game with the Pacers tonight. That's an 8 o'clock tip on sister station 100.7 WMMS. And the Cincinnati Bengals, of all things, yesterday launched a website. Mike Brown, welcome to the year 2000. Casey Coleman, News Radio, WTAM 1100.
How do I change the light bulb in my gas light? Can I roast marshmallows in my gas fireplace? Does my gas garage heater need ventilation?
If you're in the process of building or buying a home and you're curious about all the ways natural gas appliances can keep you warm and comfortable while saving you money, just call East Ohio Gas at 1-800-400-5115. You'll get answers to all your energy questions, including the name of a comfort contractor or dealer who sells and services natural gas appliances. So for the answers to all your energy questions, just call the East Ohio Gas Comfort Line at 1-800-400-5115 or visit our website at cng.com. East Ohio Gas.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
Live Doppler radar. Storm tracking that's 6 minutes faster. Cleveland's official weather station. News Radio. WTAM 1100.
Channel 3 weather. Here's Mark Nolan.
System working its way through today. It looks like it's bringing rain, and along with that, thunderstorm potential is going to be there. Just about 59 degrees for a high today. Tonight, showers, possible thunderstorms again down to 41. And then for tomorrow, a rain to snow changeover. An early high of 48.
Still hopeful about those high temperatures right now. 47 degrees, some light scattered rain at your official weather station. I'm Tom Moore on Cleveland's only News Radio, WTAM 1100.
Continuing coverage coming up at the bottom of the hour. Bulletins at 1.